Today we're going to be showing you guys how to paint a front bumper and headlight. But if you want your car to look from this to this, stay to the end of the video. Let's get to it. The materials. All this you can get if you're in the New York area. You go pick these up in the link in my bio. Alright, so to paint you need first wax and grease remover, thinner to clean your gun and your materials, adhesion promoters mostly for plastic pieces to help the paint stick. You have reducer for the paint, and this is the paint. This is ocean clear, we might be using that. Also tape, scrap cloth, paper towel, sticks, and strainer, and tack cloth. That's all you need. Step 1 is cleaning the bumper. You gotta make sure that is very clean. This is a very tedious process where you need to make sure that your headlight and your bumper or your ever painting area has to be clean. You could be using wax and grease remover or soap and water to clean it all out. After that, step 2 is sanding the bumper and the headlight. You're gonna be using a scuff pad, scuff bright, whatever you'd like to call it, and you're gonna prepare the surface to grab some paint. For the headlight, you're going to be using 1200, 1500, or 2000 grit sandpaper, wet. Now once you're done with that, you're going to clean the bumper yet again to make sure all that debris and dirtiness is gone. It's great to use compressed air, like that you can get all the water out of the nooks and crannies everywhere, and dry the bumper out. It should look like this when you're done. Now step 3 is maxing the car out. Pretty much you're going to use 2-inch tape or 3/4 inch tape, and you're going to max the car down and make sure it's prepared to get paint in areas that you don't want to paint in. Like for instance, this grill area, you don't want no blue paint where it's supposed to be black paint. So you're going to cover it out. You're going to make an outline on everywhere that you don't want paint, and then you're going to throw paper or plastic sheeting on everything, as you can see here. Now this is a step that you're going to want to take your time and really do this the right way, because you could get overspray and paint in areas that there shouldn't be paint in. And when you're done, it should look something like this. This is just an outline to make sure all these places cannot get paint. Now step 4 is applying Bulldog. This is a adhesion promoter which basically helps the paint to stick to the front bumper. You're going to start by cleaning your surface down with wax and grease remover, and make sure you get everywhere. As you can see, this is wax and grease remover. You're going to get every area nice and clean, and make sure you let it dry like about 5 minutes. Let that wax and grease remover dry, and then you can hit it with some Bulldog. Now this is pretty much a primer before you throw on the paint. Just make sure you throw it on right and evenly. Now for the biggest stage, painting. Now this is step 5. You're going to open your can and you're going to mix your paint really good to make sure all that metallics and colors are mixed very well. Then you're going to take your paint, pour it in a container. In this case we're using a coffee cup, and you're going to pour in your reducer. Reducer could be 1-to-1 ratio, or it can be half paint and half reducer, or it can be 1.5 reducer and 1 paint. Then you're going to pour your paint into the cup, and in this case we need to add a little bit more reducer, and we poured everything inside the paint gun. A reducer is to make sure the paint is thin, like that it can fit and go through the gun, and make sure you mix very well, as you can see. Then you're going to cover your gun up, and you're ready to show on some paint. Now this is our first coat. We're going to do a light coat. Don't make it so heavy, just get some paint on there. You don't have to be too much. Make sure it's spread evenly and thoroughly. It should be something like this. Now this is our second coat of paint. You can see how much paint the bumper is grabbing out now. And this is how it looks after 2 coats of paint. Our third and final coat. This is how it turned out. Beautiful, nice and slick, no drips. Step 6 is cleaning the gun thoroughly. Now you're going to be using lacquer thinner and you're going to clean the gun very thoroughly inside and outside to make sure there's no paint in the clear, because I mean you don't want that. That's just going to ruin your paint job and you don't want that. Now you're going to make sure it's thoroughly clean, as you can see. Step 7 is throwing clear. Now this ocean clear specifically is 2-to-1 ratio, so you can put more clear than hardener obviously. And this clear is pretty thick, so we're just going to add some reducer to it, like that it can reduce the thickness of this. Painting the headlight, we're going to remove the paper out of the headlight, and like that we can get it prepared to throw clear with the headlight and the bumper at the same time. It's just going to make our lives easier, and it's actually kind of better to do it like that. Step 8 is to throw tack luff on the whole car. Pretty much is to remove any debris or bugs or pieces of dirt that could be on the paint. You have to make sure you let the paint dry for like 15-20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. Let the paint dry and you can come and you can wipe it all down, and with medium pressure, not a lot. Then you're going to come with your gun and you're going to start throwing clear very evenly and thoroughly to make sure the clear is thrown out evenly and it doesn't look like you just threw clear wherever you wanted to. You're going to try not to throw your clear super thick, like that, no drips comes into the paint when you're done. It should look really nice if you take your time and throw everything evenly. Now this is our first coat of clear. You're going to throw 2 coats of clear, and so far it's pretty nice. I love the way this headlight came out so far. And yeah, so now we're going to get to our second coat. Same thing again, just thoroughly and evenly throw down the clear. Our second and last coat of clear, and it came out amazing. Now for the last step is to remove all the masking that you did. I know all the time that you've taken to put this down nicely. You gotta rip it all apart. It's actually pretty fun to do it, and it's pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. You have this car came out amazing, nice, sleek, and beautiful, including the headlight and the front bumper. If you want a more in-depth video, let me know in the comments down below, and anything you want to say, tell me in the comments. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna have to catch you in the next video. Peace and God bless. And make sure not to do this in the street, please.